Okay, let's go straight then to our panel on that big question. Soni Sorabji, former Attorney General, joining us. Mahesh Jetmalani, senior lawyer and member of the BJP. YP Singh, who's made those allegations, former IPS officer. Preeti Menon, member of India Against Corruption. And Jeetendra Awhad of the NCP. I want to come to you, Mr. YP Singh, since you've made the news. You make an allegation today against the Pawars, one day after Mr. Kejriwal does a press conference against Mr. Gadkari. You even suggest that Mr. Kejriwal failed to bring out details against Mr. Pawar. Is this now about competitive one-upmanship amongst anti-corruption activists, almost to say as if my scam expose is bigger than yours?
Not at all. Kejriwal is a dear colleague of mine, and if he has not revealed something, the allegation against him has come as a collateral. It is not, because the allegation was primarily against Pawar, and right from the beginning I said these are not my accusations. If I am a basically lawyer who goes by technicalities. We have proved our credentials by Adarsh case, by Hiranandani case, which have gone to the court, and they have proved their worth. We come with specific evidence. I have given the facts, I have given the documents. You have to come to an inference. 348 acres of land, precious Lavasa land, where one flat would cost a crore, 23,000 rupees a month, government land without auction.
My point is that India Against Corruption did put up details against Lavasa and the Pawars in June this year on their website. Much of this is being fought out in the courts. In fact, India Against Corruption had demanded an inquiry into Pawar along with other ministers in June. How can you now say that they downplayed the role of the Pawars? All I'm saying is this not damaging the anti-corruption movement if it becomes my allegation versus why didn't Arvind Kejriwal make the allegation earlier?
No, it has to be specifically looked from the point of view of irrigation scam.
Yes.
When there was a question that irrigation scam is being exposed, Lavasa case was investigated, myself along with Mr. Kejriwal, and I had an enormous expectation, like others, that it would be Sharad Pawar who would be exposed in this big scam. Other than, he didn't do that, he went for a small one, and if I have evidence, it is my bounden duty to present those evidence before the people, and thereafter...
But haven't you presented this evidence in court already? Isn't the matter pending in court? Haven't you presented this evidence in court? Shouldn't you go and file an FIR or go to the Anti-Corruption Bureau? Why have a press conference?
This is a disinformation. The matter which is pending in the court, I had issued a legal notice on behalf of Medha Patkar. Then we had got the work of Lavasa stopped on the instructions of Union Ministry of Environment, and that is an environment case which is going on separately. But this expose or these facts which I have presented, they related to a quid pro quo of Sharad Pawar's family getting a benefit out of certain statutory favors and misuse of official powers done by Ajit Pawar. It's a corruption case, and for that we are taking a next statutory recourse. But then these are public officials. If we reveal their conduct before the public, I think it is very much in the fitness of things and within the tenets of democracy.
Okay, Preeti Menon, first just clear this. Is there any truth to the charge that Mr. YP Singh made? He says it was a corollary to the fact that despite having documentary evidence against the Pawars, yesterday's press conference chose to focus on Mr. Gadkari because perhaps India Against Corruption wanted to create a moral equivalence between the Congress and the BJP. Instead of focusing on the real big fish, you chose Mr. Gadkari.
Rajdeep, the evidence against Mr. Sharad Pawar was already displayed in a press conference in May. It was put up on our website. So it's not as if we have not exposed that. Maybe at that time it did not get the kind of heat that the exposures are getting right now. We also have lots more evidence against lots more people. And I am actually honored that the nation thinks that it is our responsibility to do this. And we will continue to do it. But we can't do all of it at once. Anjali had said that she would prove that there is a nexus between NCP and between BJP, and that is what we set out to do. She had given herself the date of the 16th, and therefore we went and we did that first. So there's a lot more that will come out. But this has nothing to do about being pro-Pawar or anti-BJP or anything like that. Our stance is clear that they're all in collusion.
Okay, your stand is clear. You claim that there is all in collusion. Jeetendra Awhad, we can all now question the methods being used by the anti-corruption activists, that they are playing what some are calling hit and run politics. But for a long time, let's be honest, there have been questions over the wealth of the Pawars. if Supriya Sule and her husband held 20% stake in the Lake City Corporation that built Lavasa, which was valued at 10,000 crores, how did Ms. Sule declare only 15 crores in assets at the time? If YP Singh is now bringing out these facts, surely the Pawars need to give a detailed answer to them.
And now you give me time to give a detailed answer.
Yes.
In year 2002,
Yes.
Yashomala Leasing, in which Sadanand Sule was a shareholder, was amalgamated in Lake Corporation, which was later on Lavasa,
Yes.
according to a High Court's order.
Yes.
And Yashomala Leasing Company got some shares out of its right by the order of High Court from Lavasa. That was in the year 2002.
Yes.
In 2003 and 2004, the shares were sold out by Sadanand and Supriya Sule. I am talking of the year 2004. Now let me make my point clear that 2004, Sharad Pawar was not the agriculture minister of this country. He was a simple member of parliament and the country was run by the NDA. So to get my point clear, it is absolutely a lie brought forward in front of the nation by Mr. YP Singh, saying that it was he used his
Mr. Jeetendra Awhad,
to get something
Mr. Jeetendra Awhad, 20% of Lavasa, 20% of Lavasa is the shareholding of Supriya Sule and Sadanand Sule. How much is that worth?
Lavasa was 10,000 crores.
It is worth 10,000 crores.
The value of HCC, Hindustan Construction Company, as on today, the share market value of HCC as on today is 1100 crores. HCC is the prime majority stakeholder in Lavasa, 68% shareholder in Lavasa. So if majority stakeholder of Lavasa is HCC and 68% of the shareholder is with HCC, and if HCC's value is 1100 crores, from where this magical figure of 10,000 crores come?
Mr. YP Singh, you want to respond?
No,
is this part of the problem today? Okay, hold on. Mr. YP Singh, quickly respond.
Documents are there.
Mr. YP Singh, where are these big figures coming from?
These big figures have come out from the press note issued by Hindustan Construction Company with reference to Axis Bank taking stake in Lavasa. Axis Bank has valued Lavasa for 10,000 crores and I have attached the documents on it. It's available on the internet. Anybody can go and check whether Axis Bank has done the valuation of Lavasa Corporation to 10,000 crores in May 2008.
Yes, Jeetendra Awhad.
Rajdeep, I did not finish it.
Yes.
Rajdeep, at no given time Axis Bank had any relationship with Lavasa and they did not have any equity shareholding with Lavasa. Axis Bank at any given time did not have any links with Lavasa. And I am on record today at 5 o'clock when the share market closed down, the value of Hindustan Construction Company, a 150-year-old company of India, its value is 1100 crores. It is holding 68% shares of Lavasa. Can anybody prove that the cost of Lavasa, the valuation of Lavasa will be more than HCC?
I'm going to give a quick response to YP Singh, quick response and then I'll take the debate forward.
Mr. YP Singh is very intelligent.
I think he's just coming out with, unverifiable figures. I have given the documents. Anybody can assess. Anybody can assess if a company has more than 10,000 acres or maybe 2,000, 3,000 acres in a particular area, Lavasa, where one flat would be about more than a crore. How can you say that the Lavasa evaluation is just a pittance? These are the matters of record. Documents are there, and I think documents speak for themselves.
Okay, let me just for a moment go beyond Lavasa, because this is now becoming a daily scam routine almost. Mahesh Jetmalani, we've also seen that with the BJP. That instead of through this day they have questioned for the last 24. Hold on.
The hero of the country.
Hold on. For the last 24 hours. No, hold on, Jeetendra Awhad. For the last 24 hours, the BJP has been questioning
as a part and parcel of the social process.
Mr. Jeetendra Awhad, please hold on now.
Of the parliamentary democratic system of this country. And here is a man who comes at 3 o'clock, alleges something which is unnatural, magical figures, and tries to just throw away magical figures and just take a nation into chaos and confusion.
Okay, Mr. Jeetendra Awhad, just hold on. Mahesh Jetmalani, the BJP also today through the day has questioned Anjali Damania's motives in targeting Mr. Gadkari. They will also have to answer somewhere the question of the rise in assets of Mr. Gadkari, whether his Purti Sanstha was really a charitable trust, or as our report shows, whether water which is meant for the small farmer is being diverted to thermal power plants. All these questions, will they have to be answered or not? Or do you believe that activists are simply shooting and scooting?
Well, I mean, if there are credible allegations, every person in public office must answer them. As far as the
so who will decide what is a credible allegation? Sorry, Mahesh, who will decide what is a credible allegation?
The public, the media will keep on badgering people once they, all your channels, and they're already doing it.
Yes.
They will keep badgering these people. Sometimes the activists themselves will do it, get out people like Salman Khurshid and others. So it all depends. I mean, they are now trying to expose how corrupt the system is, and I think it's a welcome step. Sometimes, as I say, they may be off target, sometimes they may be on target. Now, the allegations against Mr. Gadkari yesterday were not particularly elevating. I mean, I couldn't find, there was supposed to be a nexus between Mr. Ajit Pawar and Mr. Gadkari.
Yes.
But he got some land, for his, some surplus land for his irrigation project.
Yes.
But I don't see what the quid pro quo is. The quid pro quo, according to the IAC there, is that Gadkari has not attacked the NCP for its various misdeeds. But the BJP has been at the forefront in exposing the NCP on many fronts. Speaking for Mr. Gadkari himself, he's at the center. So I don't know whether he's concentrated on Maharashtra politics, but I'm sure you will find every now and then that Mr. Gadkari himself has attacked the NCP.
Soni Sorabji, as a jurist, are the methods used by anti-corruption activists troubling you in any way, or do simply the ends matter? The Pawar case, environmental case of Lavasa is pending before the courts. All the documents which Mr. YP Singh cites are on a website. Now they are brought out as if they are a dramatic new revelation. What is the level of evidence that activists need to bring to the table to make their case valid? To say this is a case now which needs a proper thorough inquiry.
So if what they are doing is correct,
yes,
and if a person's guilt and innocence can be judged on the street, on the channels, back up the courts. You don't require courts. Radhi, there are cases where Mahesh will bear me out when he filed a petition in the court of law.
Yes.
There's a prima facie case. The next documents, it looks like a very strong case.
Yes.
When there's a counter affidavit filed, when the court goes into it, then the court determines and finds out that many of the plausible, overwhelming allegations have no substance. So that is the ordained constitutional authority. What are we doing now? There's some sort of a city dance or democracy on the streets.
But the reason, Mr. Sorabji, the reason activists say the reason they are doing this is because courts will take a very long time. The due process of law takes extremely long. How do you ensure some kind of instant justice?
Instant justice? What instant justice? Is this instant justice? And by instant justice means you bypass the court. And what do you mean court takes long time? What happened in the other scam cases? Why don't they approach the court instead of saying it will take a long time? There's no faith in the courts. Has the courts come down on scams, 2G and other cases? No, it's a matter of principle. I'm not interested in Gadkari or Salman Khurshid or Sharad Pawar. This, to my mind, is a bad method. We can't go on this way. Yes, if there are prima facie credible allegations, you may say the other side has to answer, other side answers, then who determines? Because then the other side will bring out with more evidence. And that is meaningless. That's bypassing the courts, which to my mind is a very unhealthy thing to do.
YP Singh, you are a lawyer yourself. You've got these documents. Yes. If you say that Sharad Pawar and Sharad Pawar's daughter Supriya Sule had 20% along with her husband Sadanand Sule of Lake City Corporation, why not present these documents to the court? If you say that her assets were declared only as 15 crores and the actual valuation is much, much higher, why not present this as a classic case of disproportionate assets and go to the court or the Anti-Corruption Bureau? You are a police officer and a lawyer. Why not go through these methods? Yes. Why resort to the street? Do you believe that's the only way to expose people?
We will do that, but with
you will file an
FIR,
FIR? You will file an FIR?
Yes, certainly. This is our next step. This is just a prelude to that. We are not the ones who will make allegations in the court. We did it in Adarsh. We did it in Hiranandani case. Or we have got FIRs registered in both of them. This is just Sharad Pawar is one person most talked about with reference to corruption. There is an inner frustration among Indians why Sharad Pawar has not been exposed. He is a public official. We have not just gone making an allegation against an unknown company. He is a minister who is looked at. He is a public functionary, and if he has done a wrong, if he has indulged in corruption, it is a bounden duty as citizens to bring it before the people, bring it before the media. That is one thing, but certainly this doesn't undermine.
But you will go for an FIR. You will file an FIR against Pawar.
We will.
You will. Okay, Jeetendra Awhad
filed as I declared.
YP Singh says this is only the first step.
We will get the FIR filed. If it doesn't happen, we will go to the further remedies in the court. But we have done it in other cases. In this case also, we will get the FIR filed.
Jeetendra Awhad, respond.
I fully support Mr. Solip Sarafji to what he has said.
No, first respond to YP Singh.
As I have said, yes. YP Singh is a free Indian citizen, and in Indian parliamentary system, Indian democratic system, he is free to do whatever he wants to, and that is what he is doing. Now the same person has been staying in an illegal building called Harsiddhi, which serious objections have been taken by Navy, and which doesn't have an occupational certificate and is under High Court's microscopic angle. It is screened by the High Court.
I say government quarters. This is I am bad. That's fine. But what about Sharad Pawar?
Mr. YP, you occupy a house in
No, but let's not make individual accusations.
How did you become member of others? Yes. What made you become member of others? And you have a grudge against me. You would hate me. You would hate me because I have taken away your flat. It is I who did that others case. Naturally,
let's focus. Can we please focus on the allegations against Mr. Pawar?
You have to talk about corruption.
Jeetendra Awhad, the bottom line, if Mr. YP Singh says that he is going to exhaust all his options, including going through the courts, filing an FIR, surely he is entitled to do so.
We are ready. Because we know YP Singh and we know what Mr. Sharad Pawar's credentials are. We are ready for everything.
Okay. Preeti Menon? Let me turn back to the real worry which is expressed by the likes of Soli Sorabji, that we are now getting into a circus almost, scam a day, played out in 24/7 television. This becomes a media circus and doesn't then become a serious investigation of corruption. Is that a worry that India Against Corruption and other activists will have as time goes on?
There's a lot I'd like to say here. I have very great respect for Soli Sarabji, and I would really like to win him over to understanding the anger of the common man.
Yes.
We do respect the courts, and we do respect the fact that everything should be taken to its logical conclusion.
Yes.
But the truth is that none of these politicians have got punished. Nobody has been jailed, nobody has been fined, none of the money has come back.
Yes.
That's why the Lokpal movement started, because we want a system that dispenses justice, and it dispenses it not instantly. We are not saying that this is an age of instant coffee, so we want a person to be lynched in public tomorrow. But the fact is that we need a system which is more robust, a system which is more approachable, and we are not getting that. Now, having failed to get the Lokpal through the Andolan, the only option is that we have to now lay bare the political maneuvering, the collusion between business and politics, and the collusion between the parties in front of the Aam people. The reason why your mics are chasing us is because the Aam Aadmi wants to see this. The Aam Aadmi is dying to express this, that the politicians are corrupt, that the emperor has no clothes. Please, let's show it to everybody.
Emperor has no
clothes. And while
clothes.
YP Singh is saying...
Yes, go ahead.
If I can complete it. While YP Singh is saying that he will file an FIR and he will take it to the court, he too had to hold a press conference to get focus on the issue. This is an issue we brought up earlier. But to get focus on this issue and to get everybody's attention, we have to reach out to the nation, and we have to reach out with the help of the media.
Okay.
So I think it's a very healthy trend.
Soli Sorabji, have you been won over? Have you been won over by Preeti Menon saying the emperor has no clothes and the only way the emperor can be exposed is by focusing relentless attention, whether it's through the media or possibly through the courts at a later stage?
Don't concentrate relentlessly on the naked emperor.
Yes.
Concentrate really on the real causes. And sorry, I don't agree with her. Wasn't Raja jail? Wasn't Karunadi's daughter, what's her name, Karmori or someone jail?
Yes.
There are a number of instances when even politicians have been sent to jail. Of course it takes time, because you can't dispense justice in anger.
Yes.
Can't just dispense justice in a speed break matter. I know the anger of the people. That's what the ISC done is very good. This mobilized the anger of the people against the corrupt system, against corruption. I'm not questioning their intent. I have grave reservations about the methodology.
Okay.
Because it may seem to give instant results, it may seem attractive, but in the long run, it has very dangerous repercussions.
It's dangerous, but Mahesh Jetmalani, in a sense, these activists are now taking the space of opposition. There is a fear that when it comes to big leaders like Sharad Pawar, whether it is the media or whether it is the opposition, no one really wants to go for them, because as some suggest, at the top there are cozy networks. Therefore, you need activists who are like wild cards to come out with these big names.
I fully agree with you, Rajdeep. I think India Against Corruption and all activists, Mr. YP Singh included, are doing a fantastic job. They're rendering human service to this country, and all their efforts may be welcome. Now, one doesn't have to rush to a court all the time.
Yes.
You only go to a court when the agency which is responsible for enforcing criminal justice fails in its duties. The public activists, like the media, make allegations in the public domain.
Yes.
It is for the police agencies. It is for to take action on those allegations if they disclose a cognizable offence. Sometimes a court may sue more to do it if it reads it in the papers and finds that it's outrageous.
Yes.
It's happened many times.
Yes.
The courts directly have done it. But for every time there's a serious allegation, just because the police refuses to do its duty, and it refuses to do its duty largely because it's under the thumb of corrupt politicians. To rush to court, you are overburdening the court and make it perform a function which is not necessarily its task. The courts try cases. They pass verdicts after investigations are complete. But the job of ensuring investigations, filing an FIR and taking it to its logical conclusion, is that of the police.
Okay.
It's only when the police fails its duty, then you go to court.
But there
That's
are
what
questions.
people like YP Singh do.
There are questions though raised over the efficacy of the police also. There are questions raised over the efficacy of our various criminal justice systems. Jeetendra Awhad, simple point. Do you appreciate the anger today that there is against political corruption? Sharad Pawar, and one has respect for him as a long-standing politician, but declared his assets last time as 11 crores and a white ambassador car. Who will believe this? Please tell me, who will believe that Sharad Pawar is worth just 11 crores and a white ambassador car? Naturally, then questions will be asked. Would you concede that, Jeetendra Awhad?
Rajdeep, just because you don't believe or you doubt a truth, doesn't make it that it is a false thing that which he has stated in his affidavit. A truth has to be. He has stated this as a
Sharad
fact in his
Pawar worth
affidavit.
only 11 crores? Is Sharad Pawar only worth 11 crores, Jeetendra Awhad?
If you have any information about his illegal assets, why don't you move to the court? That is what Soli Sorabji has said. And here am I, who is alleging directly on Mr. YP Singh, because I have evidences that he is staying in an illegal building. If he has any evidence,
you lost Adarsh because of me. You are member of Adarsh. I took away your flat. Don't come on personal issues. Let's your vendetta against me. You lost Adarsh flat because of me. Don't talk. Let's prove it. I'll file a defamation case against you. If Hiranandani, you lost your flat, a massive flat.
No, bottom line.
The bottom have been made an accused in the CBI case. How did you get others? How did you get others?
Stay in a building.
You have.
I'm going to ask. Mr. Jeetendra Awhad, this is
certificate.
Okay, YP Singh, are you willing? YP Singh, hold on. Jeetendra Awhad, I have to switch off your mic for a moment. YP Singh, are you willing to have a full since every anti-corruption activist now is being asked, please tell us your assets, please tell us about land that you have bought. Are you willing to put all your assets on a public document and then demand that Sharad Pawar do the same?
Yes, certainly. I file my income tax returns. I have my balance sheet. Everything is there. I am a lawyer of a very high stature. If I have assets, I am earning it. I am paying my tax for it. Everything is open to scrutiny. What's concealing about it? Oh, I have nothing. Whatever assets I have, and these people, they have to take a revenge on me because I have divested Mr. Awhad of his flat in others.
So naturally,
Okay,
yes, do it now. Why don't you? So why do you have a grudge just because I have taken away your other's flat? I have exposed Sharad Pawar. It's for 428, 328, 48 acres of land for 23,000 rupees a month. You naturally have to have a grudge on me. But let's concentrate on the technical issues rather than coming out with something extraneous, which is very undesirable for a politician having
for half an hour between you and me. Only
okay,
Lavasa.
let's leave it.
Lavasa as an issue. I am ready to discuss with you on a national channel anytime you want.
Okay, let's leave it at that. At the end of the day, I think the cry which is coming out, is that there are methods which some have problems with, but at the end of the day, one cannot disregard the anger. The question is, how do you channelize that anger within the due process of law? I think that's the point that worries the likes of Soli Sorabji. Don't subvert the law is their fear. At the same time, there is a genuine anger and a desire that those who are corrupt must be brought to book. How do you balance the two? That's the challenge. Soli Sorabji, Mahesh Jetmalani, Jeetendra Awhad, Preeti Menon and YP Singh, appreciate your joining us on our talking point tonight.